Alex always avoided mirrors at night. Ever since he was a kid, he had this eerie feeling that if he looked too long, something would look back. He knew it was stupid, just paranoia. Still, he never stood in front of a mirror longer than necessary, especially in the dark. Tonight was no different. It was nearly midnight when he got home, exhausted from a long shift. He tossed his keys onto the counter and made his way to the bathroom. As he passed the hallway mirror, something made him stop. His reflection wasn't moving. Alex's stomach twisted. He blinked, waved his hand. This time, his reflection copied him perfectly. Must be tired just imagining things. Shaking his head, he turned away. But just as he did, something in his peripheral vision made his skin crawl. His reflection didn't turn away with him. Alex's body went cold. Slowly, he turned back toward the mirror. His reflection was still facing forward, staring directly at him. Then, without Alex moving, smiled. A slow, unnatural grin stretched across its face. Alex stumbled backward, his breath caught in his throat. Then, his reflection raised its hand on its own and pressed its palm against the glass. A faint crack splintered from where the hand touched. Then came the whisper. "Let me out." Alex's breath hitched. The voice wasn't his. It was deeper. Twisted. Like a voice layered over his own. The lights flickered. Panic surged through his veins as he turned to run. Cold hand gripped his shoulder. From behind. The other Alex. Alex's heart nearly stopped. He whirled around expecting to see someone, but there was no one there. His body was ice cold, and yet, he could still feel the sensation of fingers pressing into his shoulder like an invisible grip. He turned back to the mirror. His reflection was gone. The mirror was completely empty. Just a dark, lifeless sheet of glass. Alex's breath came in short, rapid gasps. He raised a shaking hand to touch the mirror. And then, his reflection suddenly stepped back into view. Only it wasn't quite him. This version of Alex was slightly off. His features stretched just a little too long, his eyes a little too dark, his grin a little too wide. Then it lifted its hand and Alex's phone screen lit up on the counter. A notification. Incoming call, Alex. The air turned heavy. Alex's stomach twisted into a tight knot as he stared at his phone, which was vibrating violently against the counter. Call was coming from his own number. His trembling hand reached for the phone. He hesitated then, against all better judgment, he answered. A low, distorted voice spoke on the other end. "You look so much better on this side." The line went dead. The switch. The mirror cracked again. This time, deep fractures spread across the glass like veins. The reflection, the other Alex, tilted its head, placing both hands on the mirror, pressing harder. Cracks deepened. Alex backed away, his mind screaming for him to run, to break the mirror, to do anything. But before he could move, the reflection lunged forward. Glass shattered. A sharp pain shot through Alex's chest as someone pulled him forward. A force stronger than him, dragging him into the mirror. He clawed at the frame, his fingers slipping against the shards. His reflection grabbed his wrist. Smiled one last time. Thanks for switching places. And then, darkness. On the other side. When Alex opened his eyes, he was standing in his hallway again. His heart pounded as he turned toward the mirror. And saw himself. Except it wasn't him. The Alex in the mirror grinned at him, but this time it was the real world he stood in, outside of the mirror. Alex tried to scream, to pound on the glass, but no sound came out. His reflection, the thing that had stolen his place, picked up his phone, stretched, and turned away. Alex was trapped. From the other side of the mirror. As he pounded against the glass, the last thing he saw was himself, walking away into his life as if nothing had changed. And then, just like that, the mirror went dark. Part 2 coming soon. Follow for more story.